Thanks everybody for coming. I'm going to apologize in advance for the weird accent. So, as it says on the screen, do you know what your customers are buying? It's a fairly basic question, at least it sounds like, but we actually found some surprises when we asked ourselves this question here at InVision. So, I'm old enough to remember when software was sold like this. That's me. And InVision was part of that same group. I've got an old installation CD right here. It's probably older than some of the people in this room. And we followed the basic model that every software company followed. You buy the software, somebody in consulting or support helps you install it, and then you use it. If you need support, then you have support people. If you need a new feature, well, that's going to be some professional consulting, or you wait and buy the next version. It's what everybody did. And it's a fairly static, stable model. Over the last couple decades, we've obviously updated how we work here at InVision. You see that support has been replaced by this new customer success manager model. That's my team, and I have a lot of colleagues here tonight as well. But even though we updated some of the core ways that we worked, we still had the same basic assumptions about what is our product, what are we selling? We're selling software. And what that meant was that we have all of these teams looking to solve problems in the way that their job is structured. So I have developers who, if there's a problem with the software, they're going to develop a software solution. I have salespeople, if they're having trouble selling the product, they're going to update their sales methodology. CSM teams, if we see that there's a problem in how customers use the software, we're going to train the customer differently, create new documentation, something that's core to our CSM experience. And this really ends up creating a lot of problems. You end up in a situation where your teams have a lot of trouble aligning. And when we did end up having our teams align, it was more or less purely by chance. So we sat down, went back to basics and said, okay, what's going on here? How do we solve the problems that we're seeing? Let's look at our value streams. How do our customers get value from the product? Let's start with no assumptions. Look through the list, and we keep seeing over and over and over, there are all of these areas in the customer experience that they get value that have nothing to do with the software. We have people, I've been in the call center industry for a decade. And when I have customers come on board, I can give them not only advice about how to use our product, but advice on how to run their business, how to best handle workforce management, how to adjust how they're skilling and scheduling their agents. So we have all of these different people offering all of these different skills. And we have customer success managers who are creating documentation. We have salespeople who are part of the industry. They know the business. They are advising the customer. They're the first person the customer ever talks to in most cases. And they're all contributing all of this additional value that's not reflected in the software. So the answer then is that we can't just be selling the software. That's not where our customers are getting value. What we're selling is software, a set of services that come along with it, a set of experience that comes from all of the people on our teams, a set of processes that we use to get the customer using the software, integrating into their business. We have documentation, training, and we have a customer community. We have an entire ecosystem built around this product. And so we changed. Come on, new slide. There we go. We realigned ourselves. We realized that if the product is not just software, if it's this entire ecosystem, then we can't be working in these silos. We can't have development working on software problems and CSM working on customer problems and sales working on sales problems. All of these people, in their own ways, are contributing to the product that we're selling. And so, as you can see, we completely changed the vectors. So now, rather than approaching problems from the perspective of one individual group, we can approach it from what is the problem that the customer is trying to solve, and how can we best solve that? Is it a software solution? Is it training? Is it consulting? Is it advice? Most of the time, it's going to be a combination of all of those. And what that even allows us to do is change up how we organize our teams. So rather than having teams that are just composed of developers or just composed of salespeople or just composed of customer success managers, maybe we have all three. Maybe CSM and sales can work together on the entire customer journey of when does the customer become interested in the product all the way through when they start using it. And this is still very new for us, but we found that it's really allowed us to change how we're thinking about our problems, and it allows us, ultimately, to optimize the solutions that we offer to the problems that the customer has that we're trying to solve. And it allows us to optimize our teams around the problem, or around the solution that we've designed. So my takeaway for all of you is to really sit down and make sure that you understand your product. Jeff is going to come up here and he's going to talk about the minimum viable product. And a lot of people focus on the first two words. I would submit to you that if you don't actually understand what your product is, you're not going to be successful. Thank you all.